today on two important issues: IRS Chief Counsel and Deputy Undersecretary at the Treasury Department. I'm going to begin with Mr. Korb, up for the Chief Counsel job, one of only two Senate-confirmed positions at the IRS. Now, he has 50 years under his belt as a tax attorney. He served as IRS Chief Counsel under George W. Bush. So I want it understood his experience, in my view, in tax law is not at issue. I do want to focus on some things that he said during his meetings with the bipartisan committee staff. Staff had questions for Mr. Korb about taxpayer privacy violations. This is an area, and the chairman and I have talked about this often, that I just believe consistently gets short shrift. And this is especially of concern now, given that the Trump administration is weaponizing the IRS as it snatches people off the streets and launches politically motivated investigations of those that the Trump administration sees as adversaries. Amid that context, the recent resignation of a career IRS official who served as acting commissioner came up. Mr. Korb said that the individual should have been shot for his decision to resign. He also said that all the senior career officials who made the decision to leave the IRS afterwards did so because they wanted to show off their woke friends. These are comments to me that raise real questions with respect to a nominee having a political agenda. Let me also note that the nominee praised Mr. Billy Long, who practically was gone before he got there, which was something that I and others warned about when he was before the committee. I don't expect to agree with everybody that Donald Trump puts in charge of tax policy, but I do feel strongly that the top lawyer at IRS ought to be somebody who can do the job fairly. So we've certainly got some questions to look at. And one after the other, the Trump nominees sit before the committee, tell us what they're going to do to follow the law and do what's right. The reality is, though, there is a big gap between what they say when they come in the committee and what they do. And the administration nominees consistently violate the law and gobble up power for Donald Trump and weaponize it against people who have no power to really defend themselves. So we've got some issues to talk about with respect to Mr. Korb, and I'm going to let him make his response to what he said to the bipartisan staff, because I think I've made my point. Next up, Mr. Chairman, just very briefly, Mr. Jonathan Greenstein. He is going to be considered for Undersecretary of Treasury for International Finance. This is a job that deals with complicated global markets. I think it is well understood that I am very troubled by the Trump trade policy in this country. You know, once again, we're hearing from stores that their prices are going up, and it's due to tariffs. And certainly the Treasury will be asked about that this morning. He's certainly, again, somebody who's been in the building, as it's said, so he's probably familiar with the complete disaster that is Donald Trump's trade and economic policy. My concern is, and I hear this from farmers regularly, Senator Crapo has heard me talk about this in Eastern Oregon, the wheat farmers said, in effect, their prices are down, their input costs are up, and they have absolutely no predictability and no certainty about what's going on. And I think these policies are one of the reasons we read in the papers all across the land in the last couple of days that unemployment is on the rise, the manufacturing sector is in a recession, and our trading partners can't trust a word out of Donald Trump or his advisors. Not a way to run an economy.